The city lights blinked on and off, slowly spreading out across puddles like dim stars in murky water. The reflections on the wet asphalt flowed down windows and glass facades, disappearing deep into a labyrinth of walls, pipes, and exhaust vents. I stood there, staring at the city, feeling like a drop absorbed into its network, part of its powerful, pulsating structure. The city was alive, and I found my place in its chaotic breaths. My name is Aiden, and I'm a network hacker. Not just a code breaker, but a scout diving into the very essence of digital worlds. I sought shadowy networks, hidden memories, other people's lives captured and stored in code. My task was to follow the digital footprints people left behind, either protecting their secrets or destroying them on request. People came to me to erase unwanted memories, rewrite their biographies, or access parts of themselves that they had once forgotten. I knew that in the endless streams of data and information, anything could be found. But this time, the task was unusual. The message came suddenly, as if it had surfaced on its own from the depths of the network. The client was someone who called himself Doctor Mnemosyne. I had only heard strange rumors about him. Some said he could retrieve even the deepest buried fragments of memory, restoring them down to the finest details. Clients whispered that he could erase unwanted memories, creating perfect reconstructions that completely reshaped a person's perception. Others claimed that Mnemosyne could restore anyone, no matter how far they had fallen into oblivion, even resurrecting a lost consciousness. Aiden, he wrote, I need access to Echo. This is a network you won't find in any catalog. I read his words several times, convinced I had not misread them. Echo was a network I had never heard of. Not a single mention in standard searches, no comments in the cyber underworld. Even in the deepest layers, I could not find a single hint of its existence. How was that possible? I double-checked my databases and consulted external sources trying to find any trace. A network that existed nowhere. That was something rare and all the more enticing. Soon I began to feel as if the city itself was guiding me. Echo, a network hidden in shadows, was something alien lurking deep within. Yet it felt as if it were also seeking me out, pulling me toward it like something alive. The desire to gain access grew stronger, and I prepared myself. The connection was more difficult than I had anticipated. Every barrier required special attention. Each layer of security seemed alive. The network resisted me, and I felt the strength of each layer. I sensed every vibration, as if it emitted a distinct energy, like a sentient, conscious entity. But after hours of intense work, I managed to break through the final barrier. The heart of Echo unfolded before me on the screen, and I held my breath. The screen showed a structure resembling pulsating, intertwined threads, like a massive neural cluster. The network nodes glowed with a faint phosphorescent light, flowing and sparkling. And the longer I stared, the more it seemed like this was not just a network, but a truly intelligent system with its own intentions, its own memory. Everything inside me tensed and resisted, but my curiosity outweighed my fear. I activated the scripts to download data. Files and lines of code began to pour in front of me, revealing the network structure in ever greater detail. But suddenly, right before my eyes, the screen started flashing. I immediately understood. The network had activated its defense mechanisms. On the screen, a message lit up. Network breach detected. Activating self-defense. I felt something surround me like cold chains tightening around my arms, head, and neck. In panic, I jerked, trying to disconnect, but it was too late. I could feel something deep within me tearing connections apart, disabling nerves. Pain shot through my head as though thousands of needles were piercing my skull, reaching into the depths of my mind. The screen burst with bright red light, filling everything around me, imprinted in my eyes. The force of the impact was so strong that I physically felt something shudder within my chest. My consciousness slipped away, and it felt as if I were being pushed out of myself, out of my body, out of reality. Everything around me began to dissolve and blur, slipping away like it was underwater. Panic engulfed me, but I could do nothing, my mind bound by chains. I tried to anchor my consciousness, to hold on to something, anything, but all my memories, everything I cherished, was vanishing into this all-consuming darkness. I realized this was not just a network, it was not just a set of data, it was something more. This network knew me. It was studying me, dismantling me piece by piece, like a predator tracking its prey. And even as the last remnants of my consciousness began to fade into darkness, I felt that gaze, a cold touch that would now never disappear. Everything went dark,